Every season, everyone's paying close attention to the top picks in their debut performances, and for good reason. Not only is it our first time to see them on the NBA court, but a lot of times it can be a decent indicator of their rookie season ahead. Last year, we had to wait a while to see the number 1 pick Zion Williamson take the court, but man, did he live up to expectations. His debut came on January 22nd against the San Antonio Spurs, where in just 18 minutes, he would have 22 points and 7 rebounds, and I think the most shocking part of his performance was going 4 for 4 from the 3-point line. The guy that beat him out for Rookie of the Year, JimmerRange, would have an okay debut, putting up 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists, but also had 5 turnovers. Easily the top young player in the league, and possibly the best 21-year-old we've ever seen in the NBA, Luka Doncic, didn't get off to that great of a start. In his NBA debut, he had 10 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists, but shooting 5 for 16 from the field and 0 for 5 from 3. So as you can see, just from some of the top young players in the league, there's a wide range of performances in their debut. And with all these top picks in the recent draft making their debuts right now, I decided to rank them all. So if you guys like my content, make sure you like and subscribe. Let's try to get 38 likes on today's video, and let's hop into it. Starting it off, I'm going to give the top debut to James Wiseman of the Golden State Warriors, who was taken with the 2nd pick in the recent draft. Now, this selection was really interesting going into the draft, as a lot of people felt the Warriors were going to be back to competing in the Western Conference with the return of both Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. But after Klay would go down with another injury that would cause him to miss the entire upcoming season just days before the draft, it made it very unclear what the Warriors would do with this pick. Would they still grab a guy to help them right now, or go with upside with a player like Lamelo Ball? Ultimately, they decided to take the top big man in the class, James Wiseman, with the hopes they could still put something together this season. I thought, and I think many agreed with me going into the season, that while Wiseman would have a big role, he wouldn't have a big share in the offense with Curry and the additions of both Kelly Oubre and Andrew Wiggins. But just less than a week into the season, it looks like the rookie just might be the 2nd best player on this roster, and is going to be dependent on a lot throughout this season. He would score more than any other rookie in their debut, putting up 19 points on 7 for 13 shooting and 1 for 1 from 3, to go along with 6 rebounds. Now, there does need to be some context added to this performance. It was a beatdown by the hand of the Brooklyn Nets, and for most of the game, James Wiseman looked like, well, a rookie. 10 of these points came in a garbage time 4th quarter, but I think we still got to see some promising things. Despite some questionable shot attempts, it was very clear that Wiseman was coming in immediately, both with confidence and a wide-ranging offensive skill set. I think seeing him knock down his first 3-point attempt of his career should be extremely exciting for Warriors fans. I think the 2nd best performance belongs to Patrick Williams. He was the 4th overall pick by the Chicago Bulls. I think most, including myself, were shocked by this selection by Chicago, but man, did I like what I saw in his debut. He would start his career putting up 16 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, and a steal, shooting 5 for 11 from the field and 1 for 3 from 3. I think the most impressive part of this performance was not a single one of his baskets came from a transition layup or an assisted dump off. His first basket came taking John Collins off the dribble. Now, was it a travel? Probably, but no whistle was blown. His second basket came in the form of a transition mid-range pull-up. For his third, he got the ball on the perimeter and looked for an entry pass, but when it wasn't there, he pulled up and hit the long two. His fourth shot, he got open from outside and knocked it down. And for his last shot, again, he faked an entry pass, then took his man off the dribble where he finished through contact. Now, it wasn't just scoring where he looked good. He had a solid block and a nice alley-oop assist to Daniel Gafford after drawing in the defense. Overall, I was very impressed given Williams averaged just 9 points in college. I was concerned he was going to struggle trying to adapt to being a wing, but I really think Williams has a bright future ahead. I think the third best debut came from the number 1 pick in the draft, Anthony Edwards. Maybe I'm the only one, but I feel there's been oddly low expectations for the top picks in this draft. Maybe that has to do with the strength of the class overall, or just the turnaround from the date of the draft due to the unique season we have, but regardless, Edwards looked good in his debut, which was great to see coming off a pretty underwhelming pre-season. Going against the Detroit Pistons, he would have 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists, shooting 5 for 12 from the field and 1 for 5 from 3. Nothing crazy, but there were definitely some things to take away. 2 of his 5 makes came from crashing the glass on his own misses, which is great to see from a young player like this. He also had a beautiful spin layup against Fima Kailu, a move that made it clear why he was a top pick in this draft. Now, it wasn't great from 3 in this game, and it really hasn't been to start his career, but I wouldn't be worried about Edwards. I don't think this is another Wiggins scenario for the Timberwolves. This was a concern for him coming into this draft, but just his confidence from 3 gives me enough hope for what's to come. I think it was surprising to most for Edwards to come off the bench to start the season, but I don't really think it matters given he's still getting, 25 plus minutes a game, and I think he's going to have a strong case when it's all said and done for Rookie of the Year. These were the clear top 3 debuts. For the rest, with how close they are, I'm just going to put them into tiers. So at the top, you've got S tier, which is the guys we mentioned: James Wiseman, Patrick Williams, and Anthony Edwards. In the A tier, just below that, we've got 3 more guys. We've got the 5th overall pick to the Cavs, Isaac Okoro, who for a guy that was drafted as a super raw, defensive-oriented wing, has looked very good, putting up 11 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds in his debut, shooting 4 for 5 from the field and 1 for 3 from 3. He flat out looks way more NBA ready than anticipated. I don't think we're going to see any crazy stats out of him in his rookie year, but he's going to bring a lot of immediate value. Denny Avdia had to make this tier. He only had 7 points and 4 rebounds, but you can't complain when you make your only 2 shot attempts, which happens to have come from the perimeter. There was some talk about his shooting coming into this draft due to his efficiency in Europe, but I think we've learned recently you just can't compare those numbers to the American game. He can really shoot the ball, and I'm excited to see how his role expands in this Wizards offense. The last player in this tier is Tyrese Halliburton, who's been one of my favorite players in this class for a very long time, and it looks like I might have been right about him. In his debut, he had 12 points and 4 assists on 3 for 7 from the field and 2 for 5 from 3. This is not a high volume guy, but he's efficient and a great playmaker. I really think the Suns are gonna regret not getting him. I haven't seen a more obvious selection in a very long time than him just sitting there at 10. While this video is about debuts, I want to mention that Halliburton has dished out 15 assists in his first 3 games with just 1 turnover. So far, he's looked as advertised. Next up, we've got the B tier, which has 4 guys. We've got Obi Toppin, who had just 9 points and 3 rebounds, shooting 3 for 12 from the field. Now, there were some good takeaways. He went 3 for 7 from 3 and blocked 2 shots, but overall, wasn't a great debut, but I really wouldn't be worried. Despite the stats, he looks really good going into the future. You've got Devin Vassell, who had just 3 points, shooting 1 for 4 from the field. He was drafted as a 3-and-D guy, so I wouldn't be expecting big numbers to start his career. The one interesting takeaway is his shot form. There was a video that came out leading up to the draft where it looked absolutely terrible. He claims that video was just a joke, and while his form doesn't look like that to this point, it really doesn't look, well, I'll say great. We've got Jalen Smith here, the 10th overall pick by the Phoenix Suns, who was okay. He got 4 points, 3 rebounds, and a block on 2 for 3 from the field. We really don't have much to take away from his 16 minutes on the court. For the last of the tier, we've got Killian Hayes, and it really wasn't great, but we only have 1 tier remaining, and that's saved for someone else. He had only 7 points on 2 for 6 from the field. He also had 3 assists, but that was overshadowed by 3 turnovers. Lastly, we've got the C tier, and as we just mentioned, there's only 1 guy here, and that's the 3rd overall pick in the draft, Lamelo Ball. Now, I need to make it clear, I'm not hating on him, I'm not writing him off. In fact, I'm one of his biggest supporters, and I think he's got an amazing career ahead. But we've got to tell it how it is. Out of all the lottery selections, he had the worst debut. It was his first game. He got just 16 minutes. Things like this are gonna happen. He had 0 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, and 3 turnovers on 0 for 5 from the field and 0 for 3 from 3. This makes him the only lottery pick that has played to not score in their debut. The last tier we've got, if you even want to call it a tier, is players that haven't played, that being Onyeka Okongwu due to injury. We've got Kira Lewis on the New Orleans Pelicans, and Aaron Naismith of the Boston Celtics, which I really just don't understand. They've gotten Peyton Pritchard into this rotation early, but Naismith has yet to take the court. Now these guys are going to all eventually take the court, and at least they'll all get to say that they had as much or more points than Lamelo in their first respective debuts. But that's the video, guys. You guys tell me your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and the shoutouts are gonna be Brady, Will, Taco, Fabricio, and Evade. If you guys want to shout out in the next video, all you gotta do is like the video and comment liked or rep notification squad, and I'll shout 5 of you guys out. With all that being said, hope you guys have a great day, and peace.